Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today is Tuesday, March 31st, 2015. This is Texan TV News from Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas, and I am Macy Michalewicz. In campus news, the annual Turtle Tug is planned to take place today. Ashley Jobbins of Delta Zeta talked to Texan TV reporter Denise Haruff about the event.
In Heritage Park today, March 31st, starting at 5 p.m., Delta Zeta will be hosting their annual Turtle Tug, a tug-of-war tournament that leaves the victor with bragging rights and all their opponents covered in gelatin. Here to give us details is Delta Zeta's Executive Philanthropy Chairwoman, Ashley Jobbins. Hi, Ashley.
Hello.
So now many people at Tarleton know what the Turtle Tug is, but many people in the community do not. So could you go ahead and tell us a little bit about this event?
Turtle Tug is our annual thing that we have each year. It's one of our biggest philanthropy events, and basically teams enter in and they just battle over big piles of jello via tug of war to compete for the title.
Okay, so who's invited to attend? Who's able to go?
Anyone's invited to attend. I've put flyers out, emails and everything. Typically we have lots of organizations, Greek, non-Greeks, and athletics that come out and compete, and several people have entered in many teams, which I'm really excited about.
So when it comes to teams, do they have to register?
Yes, they register, and I've made a Google Doc Excel sheet. It's $80 a team, $10 a player, and there's 8 people per each team.
So it costs to play, correct?
Yes, and there's 3 different brackets. There's a male bracket, a female bracket, and a co-ed bracket.
So does it cost to be a spectator?
No, it doesn't. Anyone's welcome to come out and just watch and hang out. We will have, for people that aren't playing or even people that are participating, there is a jello obstacle course. So it's $1 per time you go through, and so you can just go through there and hang out, and the fastest male, fastest female will receive gift cards.
So what's the point of Turtle Tug?
The point of Turtle Tug is to just raise awareness and raise money for our philanthropy, which is the Painted Turtle. And the Painted Turtle hosts their Painted Turtle Camp, and it allows children with terminal illnesses to go and hang out and just escape life for a little bit. And it's the only camp that allows their families to go and hang out to and just relax and enjoy spending time with their family.
So how much money are y'all looking to raise from Turtle Tug this year?
This year I'm hoping to raise between $2,000 and $3,000. That's my main goal. I'm really shooting for it. Right now we're on track for it, so I'm really excited, hoping those numbers will be reached.
So how long have y'all been hosting Turtle Tug and raising money for your philanthropies?
This is our 3rd year hosting it, and sadly it's our last year as well. Nationals are having us switch focuses on philanthropy, so this is our last annual Turtle Tug that we will have. So I hope we go out with a bang.
So do y'all, how many people do you know usually attend, or how many you're expecting to attend?
We usually have a couple hundred people come out and attend, so this year I'm hoping to almost double those numbers. I'm praying. So far team-wise, we've definitely doubled, so hopefully we'll get a good couple hundred people out there.
And you said if you're not going to be participating in Turtle Tug, or if you don't want to do tug of war or anything like that, you said there's something else to do. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yes, the jello obstacle course. There will be, I'm kind of setting it up, I don't want to give anything away, but there will be just little obstacles through a huge long tarp of jello that you have to go through, so it's going to kind of keep you behind. And there's will also be some props out there. You can take pictures. We'll have big wooden letters out there, so there'll be lots of little fun things to do. A lot of people bring dogs, so just come on out and enjoy it.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any tips for anyone who is looking to win the tournament this year?
I know the past couple of years they've said no cleats or gloves, but this year I'm all for it. I feel if you have it, use it to your advantage. So those would be my tips, is to use your cleats and use your gloves.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to visit Heritage Park this evening for the last Turtle Tug here at Tarleton State, hosted by Delta Zeta. Now back to you.
Thank you, Ashley, for the information. In regional news, a report of campus sexual assault was announced in a crime alert by the Tarleton Police Department yesterday morning. The mass email reported that the assault occurred in an apartment complex off campus where Tarleton students frequently reside. However, the Stephenville Police Department is in charge of the investigation. The Tarleton PD added reminders in the email for students to better understand the meaning of consent, the importance of the buddy system, and a link to encourage the review of crime prevention and personal safety. This is the 2nd report of an off-campus sexual assault in the past week. Also in regional news, the Empire-Tribune reports that Stephenville Cowboys Marty Yates and Jacobs Crawley won big last weekend at the Ram National Finals in Kissimmee, Florida. Yates continued a weekend-long assault on the Ram National Circuit Finals Rodeo tie-down roping record with an arena-setting run of 6.9 seconds to win the finals over Jerome Scheenberger by 0.7 of a second. Yates and his horse named Chicken brought home over $20,000 in cash, a Polaris Ranger utility vehicle, and a $20,000 voucher to go towards a new Ram truck. Crawley, a saddle bronc rider, won the first round with an 84 on a bronc named Famous Dave's and finished the weekend scoring third in the finals to bring home $18,920. Texan won the team title with $557,000. This was the second win in 3 years for Texas. Texas now has 12 titles in the event's 29-year history. And now, today's state, national, and international news, courtesy of the Associated Press. In Texan news, 12 men in Houston were arrested for allegedly chatting with children in an online sex solicitation ring. Officers went undercover as kids online and baited hundreds of suspects. An announcement was made on Monday that the 12 were arrested after arriving at a home last week where they previously arranged to meet an underage child. If the 12 men are convicted, it is possible that they will face up to 20 years each in prison for online solicitation of a minor. In national news, Indiana lawmakers are working to quiet the outrage of their newest campaign about religion called Indy Welcomes All. Indiana Republicans say the campaign is tailored to protecting gays and lesbians from discrimination. Republican Mayor of Indianapolis, Greg Ballard, gave his point of view.
Our city thrives because we have welcomed and embraced diversity. And RFRA threatens what thousands of people have spent decades building. And I won't allow that to happen to Indianapolis without a fight. 40 years of history as one of the most hospitable communities in America should not be placed in jeopardy with this act. This isn't about politics. This is not about PR. This is about doing what's right for individuals, for our city. I have issued an executive order affirming that any entity receiving public funds from the city of Indianapolis must agree to abide by the terms of our city's human rights ordinance. The order also requests that the Indiana General Assembly and the governor expressly add sexual orientation and gender identity as protected classes in state law. Indianapolis will not be defined by this. Indianapolis welcomes everybody.
Republican Governor of Indiana, Mike Pence, has canceled appearances planned yesterday and today with the expected protest from Indiana residents. In international news, a plane crash deemed a suicide attempt in Dusseldorf, Germany last week is raising questions about the mental state of co-pilot Andreas Lubitz. 150 passengers were killed as the plane flew into the French Alps last Tuesday. Prior to being certified to fly for Germanwings, he had to undergo a series of mental tests. In Lubitz's records with Germanwings, it was stated by medical officers that he did need regular checkups. However, officials said on Monday that he did not appear to be unstable. Cornelia Kramer, a spokeswoman for the German Federal Aviation Office, said that the system used for testing pilots in Germany is minimal, but even with the addition of medical tests, it would have been difficult to foresee this situation. Prosecutors lack any evidence that Lubitz's environment could have led to this type of behavior. According to officials, none of the medical notes from doctor's visits in the days before the incident stated that he had suicidal behavior in his 2 years with Germanwings. The pilot never failed any of his checkups, but did recently receive doctor's notes dismissing him from work. The speculations in Germany are continuing to grow until German officials come to a conclusion on Lubitz's state of health at the time of the crash. Germany is working hard to recover bodies and piece together what happened. And now, for a video, courtesy of the Associated Press, over the ongoing investigation of Andreas Lubitz.
As crews continue to gather debris and human remains at the site where Germanwings Flight 9525 crashed, authorities now say the co-pilot, Andreas Lubitz, appears to have hidden evidence of an illness from his employers, including having been excused by a doctor from work the day the plane, carrying 150 people, went down. Authorities spent Thursday collecting evidence from Lubitz's apartment. Prosecutors haven't said what type of illness he suffered from But they've revealed that torn up sick notes for the day of the crash support their assessment he hid his illness from his employer and colleagues. Friday, a Dusseldorf hospital said Lubitz had been a patient there over the past 2 months. It declined to provide details about his condition, but denied German media reports it had been treating him for depression. 3 Americans were on the doomed jetliner. In Barcelona, the father of one of the victims spoke about how he's handling the tragedy.
Instead of focusing our minds and hearts on that those last 9 or 10 minutes, we prefer to think about those 37 years that we've been together, that we've shared our lives, our experiences.
And he sounded a note of compassion toward Lubitz's family.
I'm really sad for the father, the parents of that young pilot. I can't imagine what they're going through right now.
His son worked for a clothing company in Barcelona. Friday, relatives of the victims who are now in the Alps laid flowers at a memorial in a valley not far from the crash site. Ned Barker, The Associated Press.
And now, for today's weather, courtesy of weather.com. This afternoon we'll have a high of 84 degrees with a slight chance for thunderstorms and a 20% chance of rain. There's a 65% humidity with winds blowing south and southwest at 15 to 20 miles per hour. The sun will set around 7:52 p.m. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a low of 63 degrees and winds blowing south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, the expected high is 81 degrees with scattered thunderstorms throughout and a day with a 40% chance of rain. Today's broadcast was produced by Bailey Gregory and Denise Haruff. You can watch Texan TV News live Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. and on Northland Cable Channel 9. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and become a fan of Texan TV News on Facebook. I am Macy Michalewicz. Tune in tomorrow for the latest news from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas.